I'm very good at work. I have a good, I have another side of me. But then there's like, Gabby, who we all done seen that Gabby,
Explain her.
gets down with it and, twerking at the club and there's dollar bills being thrown up in her hair.
I thought he was gonna go crazy clean.
Oh, then there's that Gabby who. So she actually has one of them people from the multiple personality. It's like she turns to you, she's like, I'm Shelby now, and just starts wiping every fucking thing down. And dude, she'll vacuum the same spot for like 45 minutes.
Most girls do that when they get blackout drunk. They have the alter ego. Most don't do it when they decide to clean the house.
It's a multiple personality disorder.
I'm sure.
But if she's cleaning and you're not cleaning, boy, you're getting thrown shade. What's that fork doing in the sink? You know what it's doing in the sink. I just finished lunch, bitch. I'm not, but here's my thing. I'm a end of the day dish guy. Are you
Bro, you are not a dish guy, period.
What do you mean?
You aren't a dish guy.
I do dishes.
You do no dishes.
I do dishes. Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I am your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
What's happening?
And our guest today is Gabby Adamowicz. So, Gabby and I have known each other a good amount of time, exactly 26 and a quarter years, because she's my sister. We have a live audience today of my fiance Paige, one of our good friends Kelly Spriggs, and Matt Adamowicz, my brother-in-law. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Continue to tell your friends and family. It means the world to us. Yes. A few announcements. We have an event December 4th coming up. It's a Saturday.
Yes.
It's going to be at 4 Nightclub right next to 123 Ventura. It's for a cause. We are being in cooperation with the Hangry Project, which is a local nonprofit that delivers food to local skate parks and local parks where kids make sure they have a meal every day. So it's a really good cause. It's going to be from 7 to 10 at 4 Nightclub, December 4th. Please be there. It's just for a great cause, and we're going to party. Yes. So me and Pete are dropping a clothing line.
Yes. Merch coming soon.
Yeah, merch coming out.
I got one to wear today. What happened?
I know. It's coming.
Coming soon.
So we're going to do a 48-hour drop. We're going to give details about that, but a 48-hour drop, and then merch. We're going to have 5 designs come out. It's a limited drop, so please pick it up as fast as you can.
Yeah.
It means the world to us for your support, and yes. And then lastly, to Gabby.
Hey.
Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
We are so excited. Gabby I've wanted to have on since the get-go, but she's a sister, and I didn't want to start a podcast and the second podcast in say, hey, this is my sister. She came on, It's like a little sus. So I wanted to bring Gabby on because she's probably one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. She's like a better version of me. God, I'm getting corny today, boy. I'm going to warm her up.
It's okay. I like that.
She's a better version of me. She's more considering, more kind. She's smarter with her words. She sometimes doesn't take the advice she gives, but she gives amazing advice. And I really wanted to pick her brain because she has amazing perspectives, and I think she brings a lot to the table. So, Gabby, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for saying that I'm better than you.
Well, I mean, in some ways, I didn't say totally. Full. Gabby did win best all around at Dwyer though, as a.
No, that's a lie.
What's that?
That's a lie.
What'd you win?
Did I? No, I didn't. I won Best Laugh.
Okay.
And I won Best Friend Forever with Emily Glover. Shout
out Emily.
Shout out Emily Glover.
Did you win any? What the fuck?
Most changed since freshman year.
Yes.
Which couldn't be more accurate, to be honest.
You went from straight edge to trap and
I earned that one.
Did you? I did not know that.
I didn't even know that was a fucking superlative. But
Yeah. It could be good or bad, really.
I'm embracing it. I choose to embrace it.
Gabby, obviously I know you. God, it's weird calling you Gabby. But Gabby, I obviously know you so well. So I'm going to ask questions that obviously I know the answers to. But for a lot of you guys out here listening or haven't talked to Gabby in a while, you probably don't know. So, you are a school psychiatrist? What's your actual job?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. A psychiatrist is a doctor. That would take a lot more to get there.
Okay.
So, but it makes sense that you don't know my title. My title is a school behavioral health professional. My degree.
That's a lot of words. You know what I'm saying?
My degree is in social work. So I have my MSW. So I went to school. I'll help you out. I'll give you my background.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah. I went to school at UCF. Go Knights.
Go Knights.
I got my bachelor's degree in education because I thought I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
I went
Why did you not want to
into
be
my
a teacher?
internship, and I'll never forget it. There was this one boy. His name was Isaiah, and it was in a school in Orlando. And I was in a kindergarten class interning, and he continued to come to school every day with the same socks and the same underwear and the same clothes, and he was just very dirty and disheveled every day. And I remember thinking specifically in the back of the room, like, there are so many kids out there that need help with life and happiness and comfort, and not that academics aren't important, but I just felt more of a calling to help them emotionally and socially. And there's such a heavy hit on academics nowadays, which is important, but I feel like the social well-being of kids is so much more important. So I remember specifically sitting in the back of the classroom like, what am I doing? But I was so close to graduating, I was like, screw it. Let me just graduate, and then I'll figure out what I want to do after that. Graduated, was like, I hate school. I really don't want to go back to school right now. So I graduated. I went to Jacksonville with my now husband for a year and kind of just worked and hung out, and he was going to school in Jacksonville. And then I was like, well, let me go back to school for social work. I was going to go for psychology, but I figured social work was more broad. Went back to UCF, went and got my graduate degree in social work, and now I am back in Jupiter because this is where my fam is.
That's right.
And I am working as a school behavioral health professional at a local school in Jupiter.
So when you saw Isaiah there, right, in like you said, academics aside, you saw that his social well-being wasn't being attended to, you know, it wasn't being provided for. What did you feel? Was it like an urge of anger? Was it an urge of like angst and like, I want to help? What was your natural reaction to that?
Yeah, I think all the above. Like, you know, you think here's this boy, 5, 6 years old, and there's so much that you want to do to help. And then you get into the logistics and you're like, I can't go home with him every day. I can't bring him home with me every day. You know, but just being there for him and just giving him a hug every day and making him feel comfortable and helping him make friends and develop relationships, that was always just so much more important to me than
let's count to 10, you know.
Not to negate the importance of that.
Sure.
I know it's important to, you know, learn.
So what are the kind of things that you do in your job on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so it's different all the time. So this position that I have actually just came out in the district. This is the third year. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas happened down south.
Yeah.
And the state gave every school district a bunch of funding. And Palm Beach County decided with their funding they wanted to get an additional mental health professional in every school in the district. So I think there's 170 schools in Palm Beach County. It's a huge district.
And just for a second, for those watching that don't know, you're referring to the shooting at Stoneman Douglas,
Yes.
right? In like Coral Springs, I think it was.
Yes, there was a shooting down south. I don't want to misspeak. 18, maybe
18 or 19, one of the
more.
two. Yeah.
And because of that, the state went into action, gave a bunch of funding to all of the different districts. Palm Beach County chose to put a different mental health professional into every school district. And that's when my job came about. So this is a brand new position.
Oh.
So it was a good thing, and it was a scary thing because they kind of put us in the schools and were like,
What do we do?
figure out your job. So it's a cool thing because you got to figure it out with your principal and with your admin and with your teachers and with your school counselor. It was also difficult because, you know, every new job you want some sort of direction. So it was a little difficult finding, you know, your groove. Right now what I do is I do groups with students. So for social skills, or my school counselor and I both do it. So for social skills or anger, we have different curriculums like zones of regulation, which is emotional regulation and identifying your emotions. I work a lot with like mediation. So if Bobby and Freddie are mad at each other because Bobby called Freddie a jerk, then I put them into a room and we talk, and why would you, you know, kind of like.
What kind of age
situation.
groups are you working with?
It's a intermediate school.
She works at
Okay.
I do work at.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that. But
Fuck me.
that's where the editing magic comes in. That's my job. I can fix that. No problem.
He literally goes.
Oh.
that's gonna get bleeped out. We're gonna keep this
no
whole
problem.
part.
So, what age range are these kids that you're working with? Like I said,
That was so good.
let's keep it nice and vague.
Yeah,
Fuck.
they are
Bad
ages around ages 7 to 11, 12,
Okay.
depending.
And how are those kids getting linked up with you? You know, is it something that I feel like at that age they're probably not signing up for themselves, most likely?
No. I make myself known a lot, so I'm out for bus duty in the mornings. I go and do lunch duty, so they all know me as Miss A. My last name's a little difficult. Thanks, honey. So they all know me as Miss A, and they know that, I always tell the kids that my job is to make you feel safe, comfortable, and happy while you're at school. So they know if something's making them feel unsafe or unhappy or uncomfortable, then I'm the person to go to, along with my school counselor. So we have a mental health team at our school, and, there's a few of us that the kids know to go to if they're feeling uncomfortable. But we get referrals from the teachers. Parents will call the school and say, hey, Timmy's feeling sad, or this is happening at home. Can you keep an eye on him at school? He's been having a hard time with so-and-so. That kind of thing. So we get referrals from different sources.
Is a guidance counselor still a position?
Yeah.
And how do you differ from that?
So, interesting question, because there's really no deciphering. Like, there's no difference. Every school is different. So, like fine arts, like music and media.
What they call
and
specials?
art. We used to call them specials. Specials, yeah. They're fine arts, yeah. Or specials. But a lot of school counselors are on the wheel, which means that they're a part of that group. Some VHPs, which is what my job is, some of those are on the wheel. So it kind of like depends on what school you're at and what your admin wants you to do. In high school, a lot of school counselors are still doing more like scheduling and stuff, and that would not fall under our category. So like the high school VHPs are not doing any scheduling, but so.
When you have these cases that come to you and you're trying to decipher, is it real? Is it fake? Is Johnny really getting beat at home, or is Johnny just looking for attention? How do you decipher what's kind of real and what's not?
Yeah. It's very, very rare that a child would say mommy or daddy or stepdad or stepmom or boyfriend and girlfriend are beating me. That's not usually like the words that they would use. Or you look for signs. So you would look for markings on their body. You would look for them flinching whenever you go to give them a hug. You'd look for them not wanting anyone to touch you, not making direct eye contact. Now, that's not to say that if a child doesn't make direct eye contact with you that they're getting beat at home. That's not any direct correlation, but it's something that you can look after. If they look like they're getting neglected, then there could be other things going on. So if they're coming in with dirty clothes or they don't have proper hygiene, things like that. Do you
feel like you have a pretty good radar for it? Like, pretty...
Yeah, but I'm also, like, super hypersensitive to it. So, like, I'll see a kid, like, in Publix, and he looks really sad, and, normal human instinct is to judge what you see. So you'll judge the parent or you'll judge who they're with. And, then I go around thinking, like, bad things, which is kind of a downfall. And then your heart, like, sinks. I have a funny story a few Valentine's days ago. My husband and I got into a fight because I wanted to adopt one of my students. I was like, we're going home with him. He's mine. I'm taking him. And Matt was like, honey, we can't.
That's
just take a kid. Like, you can't put him in your car and take him home. I'm like, he's mine. He needs us. So, yeah, there's definitely cases where you're like...
Pulls out your heartstrings.
Yeah, like you just feel like, I can help you. And, you have to realize that you can't take every kid away from their horror, if there is horror. So,
I thought about it now. She does this profession. I think about it a lot, about how many kids we grew up with, and that just not off. I'm not gonna say seemed off, but you could definitely tell there was something else going on. Yeah. What percentage of kids do you think deal with some type of social? It's not disability, social issues, such as autism or Asperger's or whatever it is.
Well, I would say a high number if you're grouping that all together. If you're talking about people, like kids that deal with abuse, there's definitely a percentage out there that I could look up. Those that are reported. Yeah. In terms of, like, different diagnoses, like spectrum and things like that, there's also a number that I could probably look up that I just don't know. But, I mean, I always say this and I kind of joke around with it, but everyone could get a diagnosis if they wanted to.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, there's like, if you look at the DSM, it's like to have.
You were too proud to admit that.
You're
What would your diagnosis
in my head.
be?
What?
What would your diagnosis be, Nick?
Tourette's. ADD.
Where do we start?
Yeah, maniac.
Tourette's.
Yeah.
Maniac. Yeah, that'd be a really good one for you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Gabby.
No, you're good.
Gabby, what did you want to be growing up?
My initial major in college was psychology. I wanted to be a psychologist.
Okay.
And then I was like, shit, I think you have to go get your doctorate, which you don't have to, but like, you know, to be a psychologist, you need your doctorate.
You think
And I was like,
psychology
I
probably
hate school.
plays a little bit of a role in what you do today, though, right?
Yeah, totally, for sure. But I always hated school. Like, I didn't want to
School
go to
sucks.
college.
I'm with you.
I didn't, and then I was like,
You went twice, though, huh?
yeah, and I don't know
She got
how
straight
or
A's the
why.
second time around, though.
Fucking
I
trooper.
did pretty good, yeah. But I think it's because I was paying for it.
Yeah.
I better get everything out of this
Yeah, I
that I
feel that.
possibly can.
So
That's what made me leave, because I was paying for it.
dude,
It can either make you run
Yeah.
or it can make you
I
do
made
real
it
well.
run. That
Yeah.
sucked. The books too. The books were the worst, bro.
Yeah.
$300-$400 on books this semester. Fuck off.
You get real creative though. Like you can share books with people.
Yeah.
You can like rent them on like weird websites. Like you can get
Yeah.
pretty creative when you're paying for it
That's
yourself.
true. That's true.
Or you just don't get the book, you don't
Right.
do the assignment.
You just pray to
Fail.
God that you're gonna pass this test. Yeah.
Yeah.
When
It doesn't work.
Right. Thanks, God.
Do you take what you see at work home with you? Is it hard to have that off switch when you know someone when they go home is still dealing with the issues and you're not?
Huh. Certain times, yeah. I honestly try not to think about it. Like I go home and I see my dog and I
How could you not? I mean,
It's fair, though. I feel like you almost have to get yourself that way.
Because then I would get in a fight with my husband every day about adopting kids. I can't do that.
you know, it's tough. Like imagine an emergency ER surgeon, right? Someone came in today and they were working on him and they lost him. Like, I'm not saying how do they not take that home, but like that would be insane.
I think there's a piece of you though that like almost goes numb to it. Like if someone were to talk to me right now about a child getting abused where someone might like cringe, I might just say like, tell me more. How do you like I like get more information
Sure.
instead of like, you know.
Almost like a cop, too. You
Right.
know, like you see these crazy things on a day-to-day basis that
Right.
probably the average person couldn't handle, but you must get it. You have to condition yourself to get a
Right.
little numb
Or
to
else
it.
you're gonna crumble and then
Right.
you know, you can't do that
Add the
job
value
anymore.
that you wanna
yeah,
add.
right.
So what is the line, and we don't have to talk about specific cases, obviously that's private, but what is the line where you step in and you're saying, I'm going to call, child services, and what really is the strike rule on that?
So interesting because in my graduate program, I actually interned with DCF, so I've kind of seen that side of it.
DCF stands for?
Department of Children and Families.
Okay.
And I was under a CPI, which is a Child Protective Investigator. So essentially, if you think that Nick is getting abused, there's mandated reporters out there. So basically everyone. I mean, honestly, like Good Samaritan law kind of thing. But doctors, teachers, nurses, all those kinds of professions, you're a mandated reporter.
I do have my suspicions about Paige.
Oh,
Gotta be
she's on to us?
careful.
Yeah.
So like if you were to
Shit,
think
I
that
did.
something was happening, yeah, it took you a minute.
Yeah.
If you think that something was happening, then you would call the hotline, you would give all the information, and then on that same call, that person that answers the phone would say, we're either going to take this call or we're just going to document this, and we're not going to move on. Which always sucks because you have these calls that in your gut you feel like something's wrong, but there's not enough proof and you don't give them enough information because you don't have enough information for them to actually take and proceed on with the call. But it's interesting because, everyone has this like perception of DCF and they come and they take these babies. And I was there for a year and I took one. Took one baby. I didn't. the investigator did. But, you know, so it's hard because if you're on the other side and you're calling and you know that it's very rare that anything's going to happen. I know that sounds bad, but that's just kind of how it is, and that's just how our system works. You know, our whole system is based on reunification. They don't want kids to be taken from families, of course.
Sure.
Who would want that?
Yeah.
But so it just kind of, it's a weird, like I've been on one side and now I'm on this side and I want to call them for help, but I also know that it's going to be very hard for them to actually do something. So.
And do you feel sometimes there's a medium area where, like, what do you feel about the foster care system or the, I don't know if this is an actual thing, orphan care system. I guess it's all under one umbrella. Do you feel like sometimes that's even worse than like a semi-bad situation, you know? Because at least they know the people in that semi-bad situation.
Yeah.
You're about to take them from these people who are shitty parents, but at least they know that this is home and I know these people, and then put them in a completely foreign area.
Yeah. Well, there's cases out there where there will be the worst sort of abuse and you take that child from their parent and they hate you because they love that parent more than anything else, even though their parent is physically, emotionally, you know.
And what do you think, in your opinion, like what's
better?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would depend on the case because there are foster families out there that do not do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
There was
and what's
child,
that? There's like a financial incentive from the government?
Yeah, the government gives you like
a lot of money. No, people do it for
right.
But it's not a lot of money. It's in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
I mean, it's money. Money is money. Yeah. But it's nothing that...
It's supposed to just support the needs of that child for the year, right?
Exactly. So...
And do you feel like when they take there's an offense, right, and the parents get a slap on the wrist or DCF comes and takes the kid for a week or whatever, do you feel like in any of these cases the parents wake up or the kid gets put back in the same situation?
I have seen cases where there was a case in Orlando where we had to go this was the one. We took the child from the parent in the hospital right when she gave birth.
Oh, shit.
And we delivered that baby to a foster family that was perfect. Like, looked perfect, I should say that. Looked perfect. But I felt in my heart that it was a really good placement. And they had already had 3 kids that were like, I don't know, 6, 8, 9, something like that. And they already had the room set up and the crib and the food. And, you know, for a newborn, when you have older kids, you know, it's a lot to get ready for a newborn. And they were so ready. Mom and dad were both there. The siblings were there. They were all so excited. So there's definitely good cases like that.
And in a scenario like that where you say the child's taken away like right at birth, what are the circumstances that cause a decision like that to get made?
Drugs? Usually drugs, yeah.
And so it's not like the parent deciding that they don't want the child? Is it someone else stepping in and saying you're unfit, or?
Well, usually like the parent that's giving birth has like 2, 3, 4, 5 kids previous that are taken from them that are in the state's possession. So, you know, when that 7th kid comes, and
they're on someone's radar.
Yeah. So, and in some cases, it's just automatic. They just pull them.
Now, in your personal life, now that you've seen all the benefits of what could be adopting and could be fostering a child, is that something that you want now in your personal life? Is that like a like it's not agreed on? Or like a...
No, it's definitely like we would love to have our own children, but it's always like for a very long time, it's been a dream of mine to foster to adopt, foster to not adopt.
But then you get attached to the kid, and then you give them like I feel like.
But I've always been the kind of person
you would get attached to the kid, Gab.
Yeah. But then.
Okay.
You realize, listen.
Wait, so what does that mean? You can foster a kid and keep him at your house just until a family wants to adopt him full time?
So there's a lot of the times that government takes a long time. So like if court will usually give, let's say the mom or dad got parental rights taken, not permanently.
Like this girl that gave birth to the baby, right?
Yeah.
If there wasn't an adoptive family there that picked up the baby, that baby's going in foster.
Right.
You know, so cases like that.
Right.
So, but what do you made it sound like there was 2 options. You could foster a kid and keep them, and then foster a kid and
some people just like, okay, so think about it like fostering a dog.
Yeah, right.
Like, you can foster dogs until someone eventually adopts them, but you have no want to keep that dog for the duration
You
of their
can
life.
do that with children as well?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's foster families out there for sure that are amazing people that take kids in, and then, you know, it takes months to years.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the ultimate goal is always reunification. So there could be a mom that, you know, severely neglected her child, because she was on some sort of substance or something, and the court mandates that she gets substance support, or that she gets some sort of parenting class, things like that. And if she can prove that she's done all that over the course of 2 years, then she gets that baby back.
The court's goal is to reunite the kids with their
Right.
parents.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, that's good.
It's good, but...
Do things kind of slide under the radar because that's their
all
mission?
I'm saying is if I have been told by the court to go to a parenting class once a week for a year, I can be a shitty parent but still make it to an hour class a week.
Okay, I understand.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And I want every child to be happy in their own home, feel safe with their parent.
Is the child like? Does their opinion get taken into consideration?
So there is...
That's a good question. Like, how do you take a 2-year-old kid for his word?
I'm going to draw a blank really quick. In the court, there is a guardian ad litem. And they are
Sounds
essentially...
like a Harry Potter character.
Guardian ad litem, it does. You're right.
That's good.
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
right?
That was really good.
Thank you. I'm laughing.
And they are essentially like the speaker for the child. So they meet with the child and they kind of take their wants and desires into consideration, and then they speak up at the court.
Okay.
So they're the child's voice.
I'm learning a lot today, honestly.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Even my sister's job title.
Right. Yeah.
No, you're doing really good. Okay, Gabby. On a lighter note, you're talking so much about kids. Do you want to pop out a few anytime soon? What's that vibe like? Are you going to say it first on the Millennial Mentality Podcast?
Well, it wouldn't be first. I mean...
Wait, what?
No. No, I'm saying it wouldn't be the first time I would say that I want kids. I want kids.
Oh, I thought she was saying she's pregnant.
Yeah, we thought maybe you had an
we're
announcement
totally
to
going to
make.
do it right here, not in front of my mom
That
or
would
dad
have been
or
such
anything.
a good episode, man.
Yeah, me, mom, and dad.
Creepy and selfish, Gab.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe have me on in a few months.
All right.
Okay. So next few months, we're trying.
You tell us when it's time.
Next something.
You know, this is very kind of sus because it's my sister and brother.
Let's see how many times each episode we can say sus.
But isn't it crazy every time someone's like, "Well, we're trying," like.
You know what that means.
Yeah, they just straight fucking every night. You know, like what? Like.
I actually thought about that the other day. Like, I thought, like, oh, I can't wait to tell my dad. But then if you think about it, like, Dad,
Sus,
we're pregnant.
come on.
He's like, yay!
Good for you guys.
Yeah. Like, he knows how babies are made, you know?
That's
So,
funny.
That's
You know,
a funny
so I'm
thing,
not
yeah.
way off. You know, it's like good for you. You know.
Yeah.
Do you want a boy or a girl?
So weird. I actually just said this the other day. I always wanted a boy. I want a boy for sure. But now that I have Amelia, my niece, I'm like super stoked for her to have like a best friend.
Yeah.
Not that she can't be best friends with a boy,
Yeah.
but like a girly. I'm just not a girly person.
Okay.
So I like imagine Matt like coaching sporting things.
But you can do that like
Teams, that's the word I was looking for.
like girl dad, like she could play softball.
Oh, for
and-
sure.
yeah,
He'll do
yeah.
that too. But I love boys. Like growing up, my best friends were boys. Like honestly, I can only think of a few good friends that I had. But like growing up, I was always hanging out with the boys.
Super chill,
and
yeah.
not like in like a relationship way,
No.
like strictly like these are my friends. Like
She was one of the very random, like rare girls that like said I have a lot of boyfriends, but like they were actually friends. You know.
What's like the ideal number of kids?
really
That's a
three.
good question. Yeah.
Three
What
good
happens
kids.
if you keep pumping girls out and you've got 3? You just keep going until you get the boy?
Then we go back to that fostering.
Oh, good one.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
answer.
Pete, what do you think of the name Nolan?
Um,
Right.
Nolan. Hi, my name is Nolan.
There's going to be a Nolan watching this one day, maybe, possibly.
Oh, I'm going to roast him then, too.
I know someone whose last name is Nolan.
We liked
so I have a hard
Nolan.
time
We
thinking
liked
about
it.
like that.
Yeah.
It's not on our top anymore because you and my sister can't get over
I think
it.
of Nozzle Nolan. You know the company?
You only think of that
wow.
because Marina said that.
What?
You only think
Well,
of that.
now she said it.
Once
I
you
can't.
say it, it's hard
Where
to
you
unthink
fucked
about
up, Where
it.
you fucked up is you told anyone in this fucking family.
I know.
You tell anything to anyone in my family, within 24 to 48 hours, it's everyone knows. Wildfire. And everyone's like, oh, they're going to tell like their family best friend or like their, one person a day. Within 48 hours, everyone knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's done talk shit about it. Everyone,
Yeah.
But then we go to like family dinner on Friday. You're like, oh,
So what's your good baby name?
like you play dumb with it, Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah,
And
it's a fun
I throw
family.
grenades and like mines in there and see what happens, If I know two family members have different points of views, I'll just be like, hey, who'd you vote for?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
real fun.
Out loud
Yeah.
and just see what happens,
And then Nick's famous thing is like, all right, I'm going to head out.
Yeah,
Like,
and then I never
he'll
know.
literally like plant it and then be like, oh man, gotta go. And he'll just leave the room.
Irish goodbye. I the fuck
That's
out of it.
terrible.
It's the worst.
Well, me and Pete, we talked about this before. I'm an early bouncer,
Oh yeah, the Irish goodbye is like my signature move.
Well, like I'm talking about like family dinner, like a Sunday family dinner.
Oh well.
Like I'm not like in a
All right,
rush.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Like, when is like the Irish goodbye, and then when is it like you're rude? Like you're a rude ass.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think-
I
I
think
think-
the line gets drawn at fucking family dinner. I don't think I've ever Irish goodbye'd my family.
Oh, I'm not Irish goodbye, Pete.
I was talking about like at the
You know
bar
what?
when I'm ready to go home.
No. Nick will literally like, we'll be like, hey, it's Halloween. All right, we're about to go for a walk. Bye. Oh, we literally were just about to walk with your.
We have a puppy at home. Best excuse ever. We have a puppy at home,
It was
guys.
a good
Yeah.
excuse.
The thing
Listen,
is,
I'm a
if
good
it was,
dog dad.
if it was, you are
What is that?
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
We got Charlie in the studio, right? Yeah.
Charlie.
Can someone lift up Charlie for the camera? This is the cutest dog.
Charlie. Ooh.
Yeah.
Pops him.
the new podcast mascot.
Yeah.
The best dog ever. Have you heard a bark?
No,
I don't
okay,
think so.
To clarify, I don't Irish goodbye. But my thing is that, like a Sunday dinner, once dishes are clean and Ma served dessert,
Oh, what's Nick?
okay, then it's like,
What?
I feel rude
Once
staying
my
longer.
sisters and my mommy clean the dishes.
Bullshit, I help.
The only time you clean the dishes is when you want to leave. That's
No,
literally the
that's-
only time.
That's a bad rap. Listen, I feel rude overstaying my welcome. So my thing is, I'm good with social cues. Someone gives me a look, and I'm like, listen, I get it, But here's the thing. I value
shit.
Sunday nights. I like to be in bed by 7 o'clock on Sunday nights.
What the fuck?
Fuck you, Pete. You're nocturnal.
We
I don't want to hear
record
it.
podcasts on Sunday
also,
nights.
he's a liar.
I'm not.
Yeah, we can establish one of those lies right now. We record podcasts on Sunday nights, and we start at 6 o'clock. We're not done until 7 o'clock.
Okay, I said I'd like to be in bed by,
You just don't ever achieve it.
I know.
You shouldn't have had me on here. I'm calling you out.
Oh,
I can't believe it took. I don't know how long we are into this
Nick's a
episode.
hypological liar.
I can't believe the first family argument was just now this
I
deep.
told Pete we go 0 to 100 really quick.
That was good,
He's gonna
guys.
need to mediate.
Gabby
Let's keep
and
that
I-
energy up.
Gabby and I are one of those friendships, siblingships. We love by roasting each other. Like that's our way of showing love.
Those are the best.
I guess.
Kinda.
Sometimes her feelings get hurt, maybe. Me mostly, but she just. Oh, the baby is
sorry.
crying. No, so yes, I'm happy we got a little lighter note. My question to you is,
Give it to me.
what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I hate Thanksgiving food. I hate it. I only like mashed potatoes.
That's Thanksgiving
Honest to
food.
God. Oh, ham. I'll do ham.
The main Thanksgiving food, maybe number 2, runner up.
I don't like
You
turkey.
think ham is too?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Some
you either
people
have a
don't
turkey
even
or a
have
ham.
ham though. Some people don't even have ham.
Okay. So
Let's not fight about this.
yeah. Listen, mashed potatoes could be. Listen, it's definitely a side. For me.
Listen, but
It's
mashed
not
potatoes have
turkey
to be
or
good.
Yeah, right.
ham, yeah.
That was my point. Is like the main course is I feel like either a turkey or a ham.
But some people don't have ham. Like
true,
I
there's
said
the
ham to someone the
vegetarians
other
out there.
day, and they were like ham. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I have
crazy.
ham. Maybe it's because I don't like
Ham.
turkey, but I have ham.
Oh, you're one of those ham people.
Yeah.
We've always had ham at my house.
Yeah.
How's
Not-
that
not a
work
big
with you?
turkey guy.
Your parents are split. Do you do 1 year, 1 year?
No, I did 2 Thanksgivings.
Oh, yeah.
And then I do JoJo's too, so we do 3 Thanksgivings.
Okay.
Wow, it's a good time, huh?
Eating good.
Damn. And how do you pace that out, eating-wise?
Wait, all on the same day?
Yeah, all on the same day.
Wow, that's
Okay.
like...
That's a
Last
lot.
year, JoJo's was like super early. We didn't even do like Thanksgiving dinner. JoJo's mom is Argentinian, so I think she made like fucking empanadas and
Yeah.
some other food, you know? So we got like a nice warm up to the day
Cool.
at JoJo's mom's house. They also drink this stuff called anana fish. Well, we call it banana fish because that's what
Excuse me?
it sounds like to me, but it's like
Say it again?
One more time?
anana fizz or something like that. It's like some fruity, like you would compare it to like Prosecco, but it's like an Argentinian thing, you know? And
Yeah,
it tastes
maybe
like
you just didn't interpret right from Prosecco over there to banana fish.
well, Prosecco's an Italian thing, you know. This is a Latin thing.
No, I get that, Pete, but how the fuck does that translate?
Well, the Spanish word is obviously not banana fish.
Yeah.
That was my gringo translation, but it sounds like that. And
Do they speak Portuguese in Argentina? Or
No, that's
Spanish?
Brazil.
Okay,
Hold on.
right.
Let's go back to 3 Thanksgivings in one day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that was my point. The first one, you're really just pre-gaming with
Yeah,
this
pre-game
Prosecco
thing, yep.
shit, you know,
Yeah.
and some empanadas for breakfast. It was early in the day, you know,
Cool.
so it was a good start. And then you go to like the first Thanksgiving at like a moderately
Yeah.
early time,
One
maybe like
slice of
4
turkey,
o'clock or
yeah.
something. You pace yourself, yeah.
Yeah. So question, how are your parents and her family? Like, do you guys like fight over like which one is Pete and JoJo coming to first, second, and third? Or is it just like whenever they get here, they get here?
Yeah, the second part.
Whenever they get here, they get here?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, their chill level is 1,000.
Good
and
for you.
Everyone gets along pretty
Good
well.
for you.
And that's my thing is
Well, hold on. Let me change
Okay.
that a little bit. The chill level is a little lopsided, you know? Like, my mom gets priority for, like, the Thanksgiving dinner. And it's not, like, family versus family. It's, like, mom's side versus dad's side, you know? JoJo's family is, like, super easy. And she's just like, yeah, if you guys can make it great, come over whenever. And that's why we end up there.
well, she
like-
has 5 siblings, right?
Yeah, big family.
yeah,
So if
yeah.
we were
Wow.
missing, it, like, wouldn't be the end of the
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
I don't think. But my mom, it's, like, a big deal. She's cooking everything. It matters a lot to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we, like, go there when she wants it. And then my dad, like, could care less as long as he gets to see us.
yeah.
So
Are
it's
your
like-
parents remarried?
My dad has had a girlfriend for like a long time. I don't think he'll get remarried though. But mom, no, she has been in a few relationships, but not remarried.
Cool.
So one thing we haven't talked about yet is Gabby and I were roommates throughout college. Whoa, don't laugh too hard. I moved up to college. I went to Valencia, which was a community college outside of UCF. And as I was moving up, I had a roommate that I was planning on living with, and he didn't end up going to UCF. So I was kind of like, didn't have a roommate. Gabby and is one of our best friends now, Corey, lived together, and I told her, "Can I live with you?" So she basically said yes. And I don't know if that was
You just said I told her, "Can I live with you?"
Well,
and
it was
that
like a
might have
question.
been how it went.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's a good thing. Sometimes you have to tell people a question, like, "Hey, Pete, you want to go out tonight?" Like, I'm telling you, like,
This
you
is
know?
a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Okay.
like asking, you know, but I
Right.
feel like that's a little bit of my personality is like, just come.
Right. Well, this
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
happened like 2 weeks ago when you were like, "Hey, I'm going out on Friday. I know the odds are slim, but you want to come?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe." And you're like, "I'm gonna take that as yes." You know, I don't do maybes.
Yeah, I hate it. Pet peeve, maybe. Oh, or like I'll let you know. Nope, I need
Yeah.
to know now.
Was I there?
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun.
So when I told Gabby that I needed to live with her, she said yes graciously, and we moved in together.
In this home?
No, this is in college at UCF.
Oh.
All right, so we lived at Alpha Club. Shout out Alpha Club. If you know UCF, it's now the middle of the hood. But it was a really good growing experience.
We don't know that.
Kind of.
We haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, let's not say that.
That's not judge.
Okay.
It
but
was at a time though, huh?
It was hot block up in there.
But it was a party when we lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The college communities were always fun because like shit popped off, you know.
Well, you're confusing me now. Was it a college community or was it the hood?
So we lived around. You know how around FSU they had all these college apartment complexes.
They're like
Yes.
affiliated with the school. Like the bus
Yeah,
will take you from
there.
your
Sure,
apartment
sure.
to school.
Yeah, one of those.
But it's not like
Near
on
the hood,
campus.
No, like
Where's
Orlando's
the hood
not
part?
like not hood. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh.
most of Orlando probably is hood.
I feel similar about Tally.
No
but-
shade to Orlando, but most times you're gonna be caught in the hood, you know? Like, there's, like...
Not near UCF.
Ooh, let's think
Downtown
about it.
Orlando, I'm not going to argue with you.
Absolutely.
But near UCF is like...
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie just came to visit.
Don't piss.
Okay.
You want some camera
Oh,
time,
she
Charlie?
gone. She gone. So, like, yeah, like downtown Orlando could be sketch most of the time. But near UCF is not.
Tally, it's very similar. Tally's sketchy
Yeah.
as fuck, too, you know?
Ooh, Tally's really sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't get caught on that hot block, you know?
Right, but that was kind of my point. Was like, you know,
You
I was
was
in
the hot
I
block.
was in the retreat, which is surrounded by the hood. But like, as long as you stay in the retreat, you know, it's not like you're walking down the street
Right.
of the
Yeah,
hood.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it was like pretty safe, even though
Yeah.
there's. But like, it's like that everywhere. Down where I live now is the exact same
That's
thing. I live in a nice gated apartment complex, and right across the street is a not very nice apartment complex.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that everywhere.
Yeah.
I just think you just gotta, you know, just watch your back, you know?
Yeah, don't get caught lacking.
Just be smart.
So we lived together, and we learned a lot about each other. You know, even more like, you know, it's one thing being brother and sister, but it's another thing being roommates.
Well, it's weird because you live your whole life living together.
Yeah.
So you're like, not a big deal.
That's a funny point.
Yeah.
Let me live with my brother
yeah.
since I've been
Right.
doing
You
that
said
for
that,
18
like,
years.
You live your whole life being brother and sister, as if that didn't also mean pretty
Right,
much
it
being
also meant roommates. Like,
That-
your
our
whole
whole
life.
life we lived together. So I'm like, college,
That's
like,
facts.
he
That's a good
seems
point,
fun.
Gab.
Yeah.
Yeah. But college is different because, like, in the household, like, you have parents telling you yes or no what to do.
Yeah.
Up into college, you could do whatever you want.
Sure.
You know? But a long story short, living with your siblings sucks.
Hold on.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
I'm gonna
actually.
bring it back.
I'll pull it back.
I'll
pull it back.
Pull
yeah?
it back.
Pull it back.
Idiot. Listen. It didn't suck when you wanted to have fun because you're fun
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm really
I
not good at
think
giving
my
you
fun,
compliments.
My fundar is pretty high.
You're fun at times. My fundar, this kid.
That was good, dude.
Thank you.
But you went through some shit, and I went through some shit, and we were
That
mean
was
to
the
each
second
other.
saga of living together.
Oh, okay. So first saga was fun as
fuck.
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fun. We also lived next to Andrew and
Yeah,
Adam
yeah,
and Tom.
Were you close to any of your neighbors in your college experience?
I sold a lot of them weed.
Oh, this is true. You were the plug.
Yeah.
Pete the
Yeah.
plug.
So we had a lot of fun that time.
Yeah. And things weren't that serious.
Things weren't that serious because
yeah.
you're 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Like, she knew I was ripping it 3 times a week, and that was, like, a known thing.
That's pretty good when you're in college.
3 times a week?
Yeah, those are low numbers. Rookie numbers.
You think?
I mean, dude, if you're going to school in Tallahassee, there's something to do 7 days a week.
You were going out 7 days a week.
I was not. I was different. My roommates were, though. If you were pledging a
Really?
frat, you were, shit like that.
Hell no.
There's
But
definitely 3 days a week. I know grown-ass adults still ripping it 3 days a week.
That's true. I kind of do sometimes. So, with living together, we learned a lot about one another. Like we said, we lived together for 2 sagas. We lived together my freshman and sophomore year of college that I dropped out of. Her junior and senior year, and then she went off for a year. And then when she moved back, we lived with each other again.
Yeah.
When I was
And-
in grad school.
When she was in grad school. And I think at that point, we were in our adult stages of life where
Like, I'm paying for school
Yeah.
kind of stage of life.
Yeah.
like, don't tell me what the fuck to do. You know, I'm a grown ass adult. I have perspective now. Like, it was to just, loud
Still in
people-
Orlando this time, too?
Still
Both
in
times?
Orlando, Sanford, Orlando. So it was tough. The ending of that was not well at all. That was through my Adderall phase, and as I said before, the downcome of Adderall, I was a fucking pit bull, and if you poked me, I fucking bit. Like, especially
And
when I was
I am
drinking.
not one to not poke,
Yeah, yeah.
especially my brother.
What's the worst fight you and your sisters ever got in? It could be either one. Was it bad?
No, off the top of my head, I can't even think of a real
Really?
bad one. The only time... Okay, so, like, I think... This is actually a good question for you guys, because how far apart in age are you?
2.5 years.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
But you guys always got along relatively well, right?
Very well. Yeah.
Really well, yeah.
Me and my sisters also always got along really well. But I always sort of attributed it to how far apart in age we were. I'm 5 years older than my younger sister and 7 years younger than my older sister.
Wow, that is
So it's a pretty big gap, you know?
Yeah.
And for that reason, we were never at the same school at the same time.
Yeah.
We never had the same friends, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that was usually the cause of a lot of conflict. At least,
Yeah.
like, the example that I always got to see in my own life was Evan Harvey and Olivia Harvey.
Correct.
Them being very close in age and
Yeah.
always, like, constantly, you know...
Yeah.
No, I don't want to
that's-
make that sound like there was a bad,
No,
you know,
but you
siblinghood.
bump heads
But they
with
bumped
it.
heads a
Yeah.
lot, you know? But it was always because, like, Evan was
Yeah.
flirting with her friends and, like, you
Yeah.
know, pissing her off.
See, that's interesting though, because we have an older sister who is 5 years older than Nick. So I was always that middle,
Yeah.
best friends with my sister, best friends with my brother.
Right.
But they were 5 years apart. So like the same thing. Like
Yeah.
they didn't have those mutual friends. They didn't
Right.
have like mutual parties, or they weren't in high school together. They were
Right.
never in college together. So
There was no overlapping
yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
So it's interesting
And all
because
three of us kids have way different personalities, right? So like Marina, the oldest, is very.
I don't pick up on that with you two.
Okay, so this is what I'll say, as I think Marina's very like 75% analytical. You know, she really thinks about her next move. She's an introvert in a great way. Like she's not an introvert, like don't come over, but like she's a homebody.
Yeah.
And she likes to know what she's going into. And like Marina would not be on this podcast right now. You know, like she is the best person. She gives amazing advice. She's very strong-willed. But that's like her personality, super chill. Gabby is a mix between insane, absolutely crazy, and super chill, analytical.
I want you to explain what you just said.
So like I'm saying like you're 50-50. Like you're a chameleon. Like
Cool,
you
cool.
could do the chill. I'm gonna chill at home all day in my oversized t-shirt and not do anything.
I love
you
a
know,
good oversized t-shirt. Yeah.
I'm very good at work. I have a good, I have another side of me. But then there's like, Gabby, who we all done seen that Gabby,
Explain her.
gets down with it and twerking at the club and there's dollar bills being thrown up in their air.
I thought he was gonna go crazy clean.
Oh, then there's that Gabby who.
I
So
didn't
she
know you were
actually has one of them people from the multiple personality.
Yeah.
It's like she turns to you and she's like,
I'm Shelby now.
and just starts wiping every fucking thing down. And dude, she'll vacuum the same spot for like 45 minutes.
Most girls do
You know.
that when they like get blackout drunk. They have the alter ego. Most don't do it when they decide
No,
to
that's
clean
what
the
I'm saying.
house.
It's a multiple personality disorder.
I'm sure.
But if she's cleaning and you're not cleaning, boy, you're getting thrown shade. Like, what's that fork doing in the sink? You know what it's doing in the sink. I just finished lunch, bitch. I'm not, but here's my thing. I'm a end of the day dish guy. Are you
Bro, you are not a dish guy, period.
What do you mean?
You aren't a dish guy.
I do dishes.
You do no dishes.
I do dishes. Are you a dish guy?
I do. Yeah, I do the dishes every day. I do them at the beginning of the day. Though.
He's talked about
See?
how clean he
You
is.
leave them overnight, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Crazy.
No, I do not go to sleep with shit in the sink. No.
Yes. I'm okay with that.
Here's the thing, though.
Of
like,
course you're okay with it. You're also okay with hummus on your fridge after you put your fingers in it.
All right. It happened a few times. It's not happening every time. Big fan of hummus.
So
I'm not
I
like-
work late, So when I come home from work late at night, and I usually I'm eating right before I start working, So it's like dishes are in the sink right before I go. I'm not gonna wash them right before I leave,
Yeah.
And then when I come home, I just got done working all day. I don't feel like washing the dishes. I kind of just want to unwind. But the first thing when I wake up in the morning, I make breakfast, which requires a lot of dishes, pans, and shit. And
Then
then
you do 'em all.
I clean slate,
Yeah.
And that's
Listen,
just
as
my
long as
cycle.
you're cleaning, it's really...
No, that's
It's still a
it.
24-hour
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. You good with that answer?
But I also
I'm
am
good
a
with
big
not
advocate.
living with you.
Right?
To be honest with you, I'm cool not living with you, and
All
that's
right.
because I love you.
All right, bet.
And I've always said, I love him so much. I just don't want to live with him because then I won't love him so much.
Okay.
I've always
that's
said
pretty
it.
deep.
But
Did you say
it's
she fucking hates me?
no.
You guys have lived together for a long time. What's
It
the
was
love
it was
level
a
at
long time.
now?
We've lived together a long time,
No, so
and we've done really well.
very well.
What do you
Yeah.
guys' take on
Decently well.
disposable plates and utensils?
Every night.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
not utensils.
No.
Paper
Well, it
plates.
seems like
I'm
kind
on
of a
that.
waste. Why
Paper-
one, not the other?
Paper plates always.
Imagine if you
People
used a
sleep-
plastic utensil
People
as well, and
sleep
there
on
was just
plastic
no dish.
utensils. I know it. Listen, if you open my utensil drawer, though, there's only plastic utensils. That's
Oh, no, that's weird.
That
My
sucks.
utensil
Yeah.
drawer has utensils. I just don't use those ones.
You know, now that you put it in my head, it might be a thing.
That's
But
Why do
awesome.
one and not the other?
That's true, Pete. Wow. But they shop at Aldi, so that's super sus.
my husband shops at Aldi. It's a fight. I hate Aldi.
So
hate Aldi.
I hate Aldi.
Listen,
I
you
feel
guys
like
are throwing the H word around like crazy.
I dislike Aldi.
Why?
Yeah.
Publix is a shopping is a pleasure.
Okay, well, hold on. You can't just your answer can't just be the name of a place that you
All right,
like.
all right, all right.
What are the
All right,
reasons
I'll give you the reason I
hate
don't like
Aldi?
Aldi. This is
Why
the
do you hate
reason.
Aldi?
You walk in.
Costco.
If I were to say,
He said it's the card.
Look at
I
it. He
said
gets-
the card. I ain't paying for no car,
stop.
bro.
He
I
gets
ain't paying for no car.
He gets so defensive. This is the thing. If I were to say
Don't
where
fuck
is
around
the
in that
milk
grocery
in
store.
Aldi, you can't tell me. You
Well-
can tell me where the milk is in Publix because Publix is organized.
Yeah, there's aisles.
There's
There's
aisles.
levels to this shit.
There is
Listen.
not a calendar. Sorry. There is not a. I get furious.
Yeah.
There is not a calendar next to your cereal. It just doesn't happen in Publix.
I'm
In
good.
Aldi, there's a calendar. There's shoes. There's umbrellas.
They sell
next
shoes?
to my food.
That sounds
Yes.
like a utility store to me.
Aldi's sells.
Everything? That sounds like a good
You know
problem
my
to have.
you know my
Too
first
much.
experience at Aldi. This is what really sent me over the edge. I go to the line, beep.
You already know what my answer's gonna be.
Right. Bacon through milk, eggs, and
Yeah.
it just like they're on the conveyor belt. It just goes to the end, and they're
Yep.
sitting there. Like 14 groceries are sitting there.
Tuck
And
that
you're
shit.
waiting for someone to bag it.
And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, like where's that bagger at? You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they said, oh yeah, 5 cents a bag.
Yeah.
I picked up all my groceries, threw it in the basket, and said I ain't never coming back here again.
Right, well, I'm going to back to episode like 3. I'll tell you where you guys fucked up. You went and walked inside Aldi. I've never been to an Aldi in my entire life.
Because you're one of those shipped people.
I just ordered
Yeah,
the
he's one of
groceries.
them. He's one of
And,
them.
you know, you can make the argument of like, I don't want to pay the extra, whatever. But I I don't pay for a cart, I don't pay for bags, and I don't have any frustration with my grocery shopping experience.
Get a quarter back.
Yeah, you get the money back after you return the cart.
But like, don't you get? So you're not paying for a cart.
Correct.
You're paying.
It's so no one steals the cart, I think.
Right.
Right.
But that's
So
like,
we should be easier on Aldi, but it also sucks.
I
I
know.
will
And
go
You
to
should
Publix.
also just not go to Aldi and order the groceries because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
You know, it's for someone who has never been to Aldi before.
Wait,
it's
you've
like-
never been to Aldi?
I have. I'm saying
Oh.
for someone who hasn't been to Aldi.
Oh.
Our
It's like-
viewers.
Yeah, like,
Oh.
like,
I thought.
We've got a lot of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay.
Who probably never been to Aldi. They might go now. You know.
I thought
You
you were
should.
pointing
I encourage
at
you.
our in-house viewers. I thought
Aldi, if you're looking for a podcast to sponsor
Okay,
with
so
roughly 125 subscribers, DM me.
that's right.
let us know.
Okay, so say Publix is Chick-fil-A. Aldi
We were
is
talking
like
That's putting them on a
we
pedestal.
were talking about Marina for a minute.
Aldi was like
Oh, yeah.
What happened to our sister?
I think she's chilling.
We were talking about her.
I think what? No,
We were
Gab.
talking about how you're 5 years apart from her.
See, here's what's happening.
This is why I can't be on here. Y'all are too much.
What
What?
you mean?
You are
I ask
scattered.
the questions, bitch. You answer them. You don't be asking me questions.
All right. Sorry.
What you mean?
Wrong spot.
Okay, so as I was saying, Aldi is. No, Marina's super awesome. She has a baby
She's
now.
chilling, I think.
Yeah.
What happened to Marina? She's chilling, I think.
We have a niece, all right, bro. Look-
She's the best.
Yeah, at Amelia. How do you like that name, Amelia?
It's
Yeah.
our niece's name.
Damn, you can't say
well, why not?
You
I
can
can't
have
think
an
for a second.
opinion.
I actually
You
have
can
an opinion.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Y'all didn't like no.
Now I'm scared to say my opinion after
No,
I get
don't be
attacked
scared.
All
like
right, Pete. What's your? If you have a son tomorrow, boom. What's his name?
that. Pete. I'm junior. I got to keep the line going.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The third?
Yeah, the third.
Peter Price the third.
Yeah.
I could totally see it.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted Nicholas Agnelli the second, but I feel like that's a little
You're not that
egotistic.
great to have the second.
Damn.
We're gonna have to pull up the clip from the previous episode where you said it was gonna be like ravioli, stromboli,
Yeah.
lasagna,
Okay.
fettuccine.
Luciano is a real thing, and it might happen. Okay, so
Luciano.
fingers crossed on that. It might happen. Who knows? You never. Life is crazy.
Paige, you guys have a son tomorrow. What's his name?
Not that.
You got to vote?
We like.
No.
Oh.
Nolan.
Who writes
Shade.
the birth certificate?
Oh, the woman does. That's
I see
sexism.
where this is going. Nolan
super
it is.
sexism. How is that not sexist? A woman signs
Let's
it?
not talk about that.
Okay, I guess you're right. They birth it.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of stuff involved there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We'll probably just take that one out.
This episode's going to have a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Probably just take that one out. Now we got to leave it in.
So,
fuck.
no, I'm rated super chill. Gabby's not super chill. Honestly,
All we were talking about was how
trash Aldi is.
no.
Okay.
P was saying how he's far apart from his siblings, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was saying how I feel like there's maybe some more difference of opinions and more like turmoil between like me and you and me and Marina because we're closer in age,
Right.
whereas you and Marina are 5 years apart. So there's not. You guys didn't like overlap.
But also, I'm not like I'm not like a hard person to get along with. But I do a lot like I'm not like
You're annoying.
yeah, in the best way, you know.
You're not supposed to be the one that says that.
You know.
Usually the person
I
that...
feel like before you say that, you have to do like with all due respect. I feel like that was one of those, you know.
All right, this is the thing.
Just try it one more time.
All right, I'll try it again. Everyone loves you. Everyone does love.
See,
Everyone loves
you. With all due respect.
With a whole due respect, everyone loves you, but you're annoying.
Yeah, sick.
And I'll tell you why.
Super sick.
I'll tell you why.
Okay. Because I bring the fucking heat. That's why. Keep going.
That is why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's awesome.
Get
That's
one of those
awesome
head cramps.
for the community to hear.
That's awesome for the community.
Tell me one
This
good thing
is-
about your brother. He's fucking annoying, honestly.
No, I'll tell
with
you
all
what.
due respect.
You added that part.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Unfortunately for you, you had 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No, yeah,
unfortunate.
that's a fact.
It
That's
is.
awesome for the community.
It's unfortunate because you had these women that were just constantly telling you what you're
Yeah.
doing wrong. So
No,
I
you're
get
right.
it.
You're
I get it.
Was there a lot of things he was doing wrong?
A lot.
Dude,
A lot.
imagine having 3 microscopes on your ass a day, every day. It's a lot, man.
But also, we had a lot done for him growing up.
No, maybe. I mean, my mom like
We
cooked
should
us
have
dinner.
opened up with
No,
this.
like if
We
my
can.
mom could wipe him, she would, and he would let her. Like that's the kind of
Wait,
shit.
wait,
Like
that's
Elaborate.
sus. Wait, I'm
Wait,
not
hold on.
letting her wipe me. Right now?
I'm saying,
Like present day? No, Gab.
my mom would do anything.
I'm my mom's favorite for perspective, right? So
I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
in
so
a weird way.
Some
In a
would
weird
call
way.
it in present day like a mama's boy.
Yeah.
I guess that's me. My brother-in-law is shaking his head, so I guess that's confirming that's me.
What
So
was
I
the
guess-
latest age she wiped your ass?
I think I got potty trained at 4, 5, maybe.
Is that normal?
I don't know. Do you remember the first time you wiped by yourself?
No.
I do.
What? What do
Yeah.
you mean, bro? Paige?
Um,
Yes, we have someone in the audience that...
Oh, remember how I said Paige has these crazy stories? Like, I've never ate a hot dog before, though.
Yeah.
She just said she was potty trained at 1 year old.
Is that right?
No, her mom confirmed it.
It's
Her
a-
mom's full of shit, too.
It's a thing in the family, and she's the newest one to the
special.
Thing in
family.
the family, Gab.
No.
Not Jimmy Neutron.
No, I said it's new. She's new to the family. It's a thing in the family
What?
that we are all wondering if that is a true statement.
Oh.
My mom did confirm.
We're
By
just-
one. You
we're
were
just
wiping your own
questioning.
ass?
Maybe I was
Emmy's
off
13
diapers
months. She can't
and
even
said,
walk.
"Mama, I got a like a." bathroom."
You said at one?
She said at 1 I was potty trained.
Wow.
It didn't happen.
I was taking my
We
SATs.
love you.
Emmy's 14
We
months.
love you.
She's
You
crawling.
heard her on speaker.
I jogged to the local
By
CVS, picked up my diapers.
By 1.
That's impressive.
Listen, we're not all doctors here.
Teach Charlie a thing or two, will you?
Well, if you're out there and you were potty trained at 1, please comment.
Let us know.
Yeah, wow.
Anyone else out there?
Because I was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 when I was potty trained. So
When was the last time you wet the bed?
a few nights ago, probably.
That time you got really drunk?
Yeah. No, I threw one party in college where I woke up and my bed was just soaked.
Nice.
So I was assuming it was piss.
Could have been something else. Puke?
Oh.
Puke.
Oh.
I was going puke.
Did your mind go to puke?
Yeah, initially, yeah.
Okay.
Well, where'd yours go, bro?
Not that. I was thinking like squirting or something.
Okay, that's not where I was going.
Right.
Okay.
It's optimistic, but...
All right. This is another thing about me and Nick is we're too close.
Not in a sus way.
Not.
That's like the number
not
6 sus
in a
this
sus
episode.
way.
We got like
Okay.
6 on
In
the
a way
books.
where I
Throw the sus count on the
I
screen.
have no line in terms of like what comes out of my mouth
Yeah.
a majority of the time.
And I don't either.
And Nick also does not have a line.
Yeah.
So there's many of times that
I'm fucking annoying.
in the long time that I've been with my husband, he'll look at me like, "What? Why are you saying
yeah,
that?"
yeah.
And you're the same way.
No,
so that's something.
So you could understand how we get into big fights sometimes
Yeah.
because we both just, rip it.
Yeah. So you asked me, and I'd give you a bad answer. I don't know that I really ever had like a terrible fight with my sisters. Have you guys had like a blowout though?
We did have one big old blowout. So what happened was...
I'll let you take this.
Damn. Okay, so...
I'm gonna interrupt you if you're
This whole
wrong.
episode is going to sound like we're not, like, close.
I think people understand.
Yeah, we're the best friends, right? We're fucking close. Anyone who knows the Acknowledge knows we're fucking close. Not sus close. Close. But what I'm saying is through this phase of the last time we lived together and my Adderall phase or whatever, when I had downfalls, it was an explosion. Gabby was drinking at the time, not alcohol. And she was going out every weekend.
I was in college.
We were in college. We were partying still, right? So it was, I think, Cinco de Mayo or Labor Day or one of Memorial Day. I think it was Memorial Day. And we went to Cocoa Beach. When you lived in Orlando, went to UCF, we go to Cocoa Beach. That's like the beach to go to. Hour and a half away. You bring all your tables out and you fucking party the whole day. I loved going to Cocoa Beach when I lived at UCF. Because when you live in Jupiter, like a beach day...
Let's just make this like...
To the point, I'm saying this. But when you live in Jupiter, you don't... This is how I tell stories, okay?
No. I mean, not like
great.
the exact thing that happened. Like, just...
No, so here's what happened. That day, we were getting crunk with it, I was drinking a lot, and we were playing Flip Cup and just getting, So we're pretty feeling good, and Matt and Gabby drove together, and me and my friends drove together. We had a hotel room that night. So what happened was...
Why'd you have a hotel room?
Because it's an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. I didn't feel like driving home.
Yeah.
So I got a hotel room. I'm like, I'm going hard today.
Trying to be responsible.
Yeah.
Good.
So what happened is me and Gabby started like barking at each other, like, oh this, oh that.
And it starts off funny.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off like people are laughing.
Okay, like brother and sister roasting each other. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
like,
fun.
haha, yeah.
And then like it was like, oh, you got like a small dick. We'll bleep that. And then No,
we won't.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow, you're and then it got like pretty
We'll
bad.
bleep that one.
Yeah. So then like that's how we'll bleep both. But I was like, that's how that escalates. And then I said like,
Escalate like a car?
no, like
That's escalate.
escalate. That's with a D-E.
Yeah, that's what you just said.
Escalate like at the mall.
Escalate like.
I know what you meant to say, but you didn't say that.
That was it. You understood me.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
dude.
Yeah,
I
because he does this with
So,
me every day. God bless him.
Did you see
So-
that backhanded high five?
That was
was
nice.
cool.
That was really nice.
That was cool.
So we got into it, and I was calling her every name in the book. She was being very mean to me.
I'll because Nick's extra, I will honestly say this was a very heated.
People thought one was going to swing on one.
It was real, and it's never been that way. And I will say I was wrong, 100%.
Yeah.
I should not have said the things I was saying. I was
Yeah.
wrong. However, because of your situation with,
Because I mean, like if you're in a crowd of people and you don't know a lot of them, and your sisters say,
but I
you got a
will
small
say
dick,
no. I will
people like
Okay, hold
A
on.
thinks that's sus, but B they're like
I will say
8.
though.
I think that's 8
Yeah.
now.
I will say it was
it's
mostly.
like believable,
But hold on,
I've never-
you've said that twice now, so was that the turning point in the argument
I will
that made
say,
it get serious?
listen.
The small dick reference?
It was mostly your friends. So
Oh, that was the line, because everyone is crying laughing. Like, oh, your sister said you got a small dick,
Oh my God,
which is weird
dude.
in itself because
You almost
I've
confirmed
obviously
it by
never
getting
seen
angry.
it. Yeah. right, Pete.
And you
Yes.
just brushed it off
Yeah.
and been like, oh, good job.
This is my point. I'm sticking up for you right now.
Yeah.
My point is, you were in a state of extremes with your Adderall situation.
Yeah.
So you were in a state of, my sister pissed me off. I'm really pissed off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of saying my sister's being a
Yeah.
bitch, I just need to ignore it. You were like, I freaking hate
Adderall
you.
was gas on the fire.
Yeah.
It was literally
Nah,
taking,
man, for
yeah,
sure.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
where if that happened in today's world, I would be like, you bitch. And then
I mean, it was like Mike,
Yeah.
Tom, John. It was like your friends. Like
It
it
was also
wasn't
random people like playing flip cup though that we didn't know.
sure, but it wasn't like it wasn't. I was wrong,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a state where you should have gotten as
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
Right.
So we lived together, just him and I, and we didn't talk for I think 4 or 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was really, really,
Wow.
really strange.
And you want to play the silent game with me? I will win, motherfucker. Like I will. I did not text you or talk to you for 2.5 months.
And our mom is so involved that she was like, have you talked to Nick today? Have you talked to Nick today? And probably saying the same thing. Like, it was
Yeah.
very awkward. It was like
Yeah.
I would leave for work or internship or school, and it was like no communication for a good, solid 4, 5 months.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, that day she was feeling whatever, and but with the Adderall, I could drink everything but still talk like professionally,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like after that fight happened, I literally called my mom, and I verbatim had like a 5-minute conversation, just explaining like in detail using very like big words, like I was at school, what happened. Where Gabby was very like sloppy and like so it was weird. Even though we had drank the same, even though we were both partying, it was two way different spectrums. So it's not like my mom believed me, but like I was the one saying like, yo, this is exactly what happened.
And I didn't deny it. Like,
Yeah.
I've said then, and I'll say now, I was wrong. I should,
Yeah.
you don't treat people that way that you
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
But it was not as, like, I've probably said worse to you, to be
Yeah,
honest
no,
with you.
for sure.
But to the Adderall point also, like, I've taken it plenty of times also and gone on little binges of it, and like I know that shit fucks with your emotions tremendously.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
changes the chemicals in
Well,
your brain.
and it's funny
Because I
because,
was never
like,
snappy like that my entire life.
Yeah.
bro.
Right.
and like you talk about like him, myself, and my sister are all very close. So like we have like sibling nights probably like once a month on average, and we'll go out and we'll just tell each other like exactly how it is and what's pissing us off about each other, and like, and that's what I feel like
it's
makes
healthy,
us close.
though.
Yeah.
And I would recommend a lot of people, if there is beef, squash it, because it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. I mean, there's very rare occasions where I don't tell him what pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a majority of times I'm like, listen, that was messed up. This is how I think
Yeah.
you can do it better. Do what you want. But, like, I'm not shy about...
Do you bring that to your personal relationship as well with your husband?
Yeah, I mean, we've been together 10 and a half years now. And,
High school sweethearts, man.
Well,
yeah. And it's funny because people, like, I have a friend that just recently asked, like, he was talking about his relationship and saying how there's stuff that bothers him and what does he do about it. And I said, there's times like once
Who is this?
a friend.
We'll believe it.
What?
We'll believe it.
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
I love the power of bleep.
There's and I said, I'm like, just because we're together a long time, I still, like, we'll have conversations every year, every 2 years of like what I need, what I'm struggling with, what do you need, like what am I not doing that you need me to do.
Okay.
Because a relationship isn't just solid 100% of the time. That's not
work.
Yeah, it's work, and it's constant, like, and it's interesting because, like, I feel like relationships now, like, you're fighting with the internet, like you're fighting with social media.
Yeah.
So like if I see someone post flowers from their husband or boyfriend or fiance, I'm like,
Damn, I haven't got flowers.
In my head, I'm
a
like,
month.
what the hell? I haven't gotten flowers. And then I have to think he makes me coffee every morning, makes me lunch every morning, makes dinner, does the dishes. Like, Gabby, what are you thinking? You know?
That is a superstar husband. I'll give him that.
He is.
Yeah.
He's a superstar husband. So it's interesting because I feel like significant others, women and men, are just fighting with social media nowadays, which is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it's just what we're working with.
Because even if like you're not like out there looking for a sneaky link or whatever it is, you have this perception or this.
What's a slinky link?
What? You know what the kids are saying these days?
No.
A sneaky link?
I've been with the same
Urban
person for
Dictionary,
almost
what's a
11
sneaky
years.
You know, like a little side piece.
Side piece.
Never had one of those.
Side team.
I don't know what
sneaky
that
links?
is. Nope, never heard.
The kids
What
are
did
doing
you
it.
just say? Sneaky link?
What's a slinky link?
Oh my gosh, Gab.
That's funny.
Um,
That's good. You should feel pretty good about
yeah,
that.
Never heard that term.
Never.
Okay.
well, you're almost
Well,
30
welcome to
now.
the Millennial
Wow.
Mentality.
Yeah.
My sister's almost 30, bro. Damn.
Still a
Other
millennial, right?
sisters, 31. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel like that's crazy. We're coming up on them years,
Right?
dude.
We're a millennial.
Yeah. We're good. I'm not tripping though. I don't really care.
You ain't tripping off that?
Nah. Are you?
A little bit. We're getting old. I'm like, we've probably lived a third of our lives. You know, kind of a huge chunk.
Sure. Felt like a long ass time.
Are you looking for 100 years, dog?
Medicine is getting crazy now.
I ain't trying to live 100 years old. That's way too much, like, you know, life. I'm like 72, 75. I'm good.
Check it out.
I'm checked, dude. Irish goodbye. My
Irish goodbye.
That was
Literally.
a good one.
That was
bro.
great.
Nice.
I give Dave
That was good.
one good fucking. What?
I wish we had a camera, man.
Yeah, like no, I'm saying like one last hoorah.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what you were saying.
That's what you
And then what I do is I get in my boat, I put it in gear, and I just go forever.
All right.
So hopefully you don't like
All
the
right,
boat
cool,
page because
cool.
that's the last of that.
So, you know, I just feel like,
Oh shit.
you know, after the year 75, like what? No, this is bad for my
Yeah,
grandparents.
stop.
No.
Stop.
Yes, yeah.
We were talking about openness. How you're open with people. I'm open
Yeah,
with
but
you.
stop talking about that.
I'm open with my friends and family. That's what we were talking about.
Dude.
You need me.
Do you think that you are smarter than the smartest fifth grader on the planet?
No.
Really?
100%.
Why?
You learn so much in elementary school. Like so much shit that you and I, Pete, none of us remember. So much stuff.
Wow.
There's no way.
That's not the answer I expected.
I know. I feel
I
like
mean,
I
like-
am.
I mean,
What about
like,
you?
Like take a
Now
test.
I'm second
Mark?
guessing it. Well, yeah, I mean it depends.
Like,
I'm not
what
saying like
kind
if
of
you
smart?
if
I'm
you
not
give
talking
us
like the FCAT. I'm talking
or like the pop quiz for his
yeah,
class that day.
like the adult IQ test. Have you ever taken that? by the
No,
way?
no.
I kind of want to.
Or like you saw the show Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader before,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I can't win that.
You don't think you'd win?
No chance.
If you were to play a game show, what would it be like? Would you rather be a millionaire?
Survivor, 100%.
Survivor?
Survivor?
Or no, Big
That's a
Brother,
shitty
Big
one.
Brother, Big Brother, Big Brother.
Okay, I was about to
I
say.
could be fake, real.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I want to do like what's the obstacle course?
The
one?
Bachelor?
No.
Ninja?
Yeah.
Ninja
You
Warrior?
want to
Yeah.
be a Ninja Warrior?
Yeah, that'd be fun as fuck.
You know I applied for The Bachelor when I was single? I sent in a video.
That would have been
thing.
good, dude.
Poor thing.
I was
They
like,
should have picked you.
No, they shouldn't have. Dude, all those guys like over 6'2", and then there have been like 5'8".
You would have been a good
There's
dynamic at
a
it.
few real short people there.
Is there?
Yes.
They like short people too. Good for the Bachelor guys. Good short kings. I saw that.
I'm not going to say any of them ever won.
Dude, short,
Short
kings.
Kings. That's the next T-shirt.
We're short kings.
That's so.
I feel like if you're under 5'10",
I'm
you're
putting
short
that
king.
in my notes,
Yeah.
dude. Short Kings is good.
Listen. It's hard out here if you're under 5'10", honestly. You know, like, but you got to bring that heat. So I think you'd be good at Big Brother. You're a fake bitch. With all
And
due
you got a
respect.
small dick, Nick.
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
I think Big Brother or Survivor. Either one.
I don't think you're about that camping life, guy.
How long is the Survivor? Like how long
60
are they out
days,
there
I
for?
think. 60.
Oh,
That sounds like
maybe
it sucks,
90,
kinda.
60. I think 6.
It'd be fun for like 6.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, I'm over the mosquitoes. You know,
Yeah,
like where's that bug spray?
How about Naked and Afraid?
Oh hell.
Naked and Afraid would
Yeah.
be so bad.
Would you be straight, meaning a girl when your dong is out?
What kind of... It's a broad question. Probably
like
not.
in the game show of Naked and Afraid, or like
In
at the
that
bar?
scenario,
Like, what are you
just in
talking
general?
about?
Do you think that if you get a stiffy, it's awkward? But it's natural, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm taking the natural excuse.
With the what? It just happens?
Yeah, what'd you expect? I'm
But then
sorry.
she's staring at you know what I'm saying? It gets awkward real fast.
It's awkward if she stares
Yeah.
at it. That's on her.
No, but for real, I think that you you're gonna do amazing things. I think
I hate you.
That's the weirdest
I hate you so much.
I think the world is yours. You know, I was listening to this the other day. You know how I say we're in a simulation? You know, Facebook just created the meta world. Okay, the meta world is this universe that's gonna be VR jacking off. You ever seen the movie? What? That was a little sus.
It's 9 susses.
The movie Wall-E. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Well, they're all in pods,
Wall-E.
and they're what?
Wally. He makes that. That's what he calls himself. Wall-E.
All right, that just gave me the chills.
Well, it seems like you didn't even see the fucking movie.
Well, they're in little pods, you know, and they're flying around.
Yeah.
Basically, what the meta universe is they try to give everyone.
You're losing, Gabby.
You're not entertained?
You're losing me. Have you read these?
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Thank you guys for watching, listening, and subscribing. Gabby.
Finish me off with one last question.
Um,
Give me a good one. Give me a good one.
Fuck Wally.
These should be done.
I thought I was going great with the Wally thing.
This is the funniest episode.
No, I think you're just a good person, and you're gonna do so good in this world.
Shit.
You know, she's so abusive, man. Honestly, bro. She called me an annoying fucker. She looked me in my eyes.
I feel like part of this was like I needed to
No, this ain't.
let people in, you know?
To me,
To you.
but that's not the good thing, yeah.
I said everyone loves you with all due respect.
With all due respect.
You
All right,
know?
so, no, I think it's just been constructive.
No last
Crying a
question.
tiny bit.
I have a question
No,
for you.
okay.
Sick.
Sick. All right. Here's my question. What do you think people over exaggerate about you and under exaggerate about you?
That's
That's a cool
Both
question.
of you.
okay.
Nick, you first.
I think
Overestimate and underestimate.
people overestimate how much I think about things before I do things,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
and I think people underestimate how much I care, but I show my caring in a different way.
Okay.
I show
that.
my caring in the way I talk about people when they're not around, the way that I express love. Like I do it a lot with gifts too. I'm a gift giver. I like, so like I think sometimes it's hard for me because like I'm kind of viewed as the guy who like just goes places, have fun, doesn't give a fuck. Nick, like, he leaves early, but which was like all bad things. But I think that I'm not joking when I say I think I have a lot going on here. I don't know if it's ADD or whatever the fuck it is, but I have a lot going on up here. But that doesn't mean I don't care. That doesn't mean that like I don't love. I told Paige right when we got Charlie, I said, I'm not gonna love this dog the way you love this dog and the way you express it. But like the minute Charlie whines in the middle of the night, I sit up, and Paige and I will both go let Charlie out. But like I find myself showing the love in different ways, and for a lot of people that's like basic dog ownership. I understand that, but for me, it's like the small steps and the small things I do that sometimes goes unnoticed. But like, whenever I bring Paige home flowers, like that means like I was thinking about her the whole day. But to her, it's just flowers, you know. And she's not like she doesn't thank me for them and love them, but like that's the way I express love, you know.
So what I'm hearing is that you care a lot, but people don't recognize that you care a lot.
Like I would die for any of my 10 closest friends, 15, 20 closest. Like I would, if someone was talking shit about them, like I guess loyal is a good way of putting it. Once you're in my circle, yeah, there's just, you know, I care and love you so much.
Got it.
You know?
Cool.
That was really good, dude.
That was a good answer.
Really well said.
Thank you.
On
Yeah.
both sides.
Thank you.
And I love that people overestimate how much you think about things, because you don't think about a lot of things, which isn't a bad
But
thing.
that reaffirms my point of saying
100%.
that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like-
no, you were
like-
you were honestly, and background story, Matt and I visited Kelly at work the other day, and we have these cards we go out with whenever we go to different bars and drink, and it's actually really fun.
Plug it.
once you
What's the
get-
name of it?
Oh, it's in my purse. It's like a little black deck, and I got it on Amazon for like $20, and it's like cards that you like
Discussion starters.
Yeah,
It's
conversation
discussion
starters with like couples. Matt and I have been dating for a long time, so I'm like, let's go out and like let's ask people each other random questions. And one of the questions was that, and I was like, God, that's a really hard question. So we were visiting Kelly at work, and we asked her, and we were just like shooting the shit, talking about the question. And it's just something really interesting to think about, because it like turns your mind around to like, how are people perceiving you, and how are you exerting yourself in a way that people are perceiving you in that way. So it's just an interesting question to.
That's a tough question. That's
It
a good
is.
one.
It's hard. It's a hard question. I honestly
You
couldn't
answered
think of
it so well, like quickly.
Yeah.
And because I think it's something I fight. I think it's something that I battle with, because I know people. One thing I'm very good at is reading a room, feeling in perceptions. I know where I stand in a lot of people's eyes, and I'm okay with that. You know, like I am who I am, and I'm unapologetically me. You know, but you know,
But I think it goes back to originally my first question, and whenever you're talking about the Irish goodbye, is like, when is it Irish goodbye and when is it rude? Like, unapologetically me, for me, sometimes I feel like is almost an excuse for like, I'm an asshole.
Right.
I'm unapologetically me.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
actually, the things that I'm doing are asshole moves. And I'm only saying this because you're my brother and I'm allowed to say it.
No, that's a really good point, though, because I
Yeah,
think
but,
there's
like-
a fine line of what that you mean by unapologetically me.
Yeah, like unapologetically me or Irish goodbye. It's no, dude. You're leaving the party early and you're saying I do Irish goodbyes, or I'm unapologetically me, or I have a new puppy. Cool, I get it.
Right.
But like, where is the line of like, I'm myself,
And
let me
being
be me,
disrespectful.
and when am I being rude?
Yeah, right.
And the thing is, your family loves you so damn much that it doesn't matter. Whichever one you are, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Ask Matt. We get, like, Marina and I will fight with our husbands for days about you, because that's how much we love you and we love our siblings.
Yeah.
But it's like, where is the line? Like,
Yeah. No, I get it.
this is where you need to come in, Pete.
Yeah.
No,
Kelly,
that's
it's
okay.
gonna go
So
0 to 100.
you want to hear my input on that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I kind of
I
chimed
would
in.
love your input on this.
Like I said earlier, I feel like the line gets a little blurry when you're involving family, you know? I'm a big advocate of the Irish goodbye, but I also have an extensive background in, like, the nightlife industry.
Yeah.
And managing bars and clubs, and a lot of the time, after you're closing places up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, most of the staff is ready to, like, go on to the next bar
Right.
that's open and keep rallying and
And
going.
you have to, like, make an excuse to get out of there.
Right,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times I might be like, oh yeah, see you guys there, you know, and then
Yeah.
I get in my car and I go the fuck home because I
Yeah.
have to do the same thing the next day,
Right,
you know, and like, I don't necessarily feel bad about that because they're going as a squad, you know, and when I don't show up, no one's good, it's not ruining anyone's night
Right.
or affecting anyone, you know. And I think that's pretty harmless, you know,
Yeah.
and I think there's probably plenty of situations where it's pretty harmless, you know, you got to work the next day, but your boys and everyone's rallying at the club, or your girls are
Yeah.
rallying and everyone wants to go out to the next place. I also think that, like, really your friendships should be in a place where, like, you can just say, like, hey, guys, I got to call it a night, and that
Yeah.
should be okay. You shouldn't have to Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
But I also think me and Nick have that kind of a relationship where he would respect it if I was like, nah, dude, seriously, like, I got to call it a night.
Yeah.
But it would take, like, 10 minutes of him going, oh, no, you know, like, you're coming, dog.
Right.
And just to avoid even that harmless 10 minutes of back and forth, I'm just going to dip and not say anything, you know?
Sure.
But I think if you're abandoning someone in a situation, that's obviously fucked up.
Yeah.
If it's a group setting and you're just going to sneak out and no one will notice, then whatever. I think it's pretty harmless.
Yeah.
When it's a family thing, I think you owe your family the decency of being like, just even straight up. I'm like definitely guilty of this, you know. JoJo's super close with her family, spends a lot of time with her mom, goes and like on her days off, just hangs out at her mom's house and will kick it with her and do nothing and just hang out at the house.
Right.
I'm not necessarily like that. My days off are usually like even pretty structured of what I'm doing. And, you know, I see my family. They live relatively locally. I see them as often as I can. But at the same time, like when it's time for me to go, I'm not afraid to be like, all right, guys, like I got to go, you know? And they respect that. And I think respect it more than if I were to make up some excuse or just awkwardly dip out and not say anything.
Yeah. I think without getting like too, like...
I also
sister
see my
attacking
family
brother.
like several times a week.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? It's
We're
not like,
very close. So
it's not like, you know, you're seeing your family just over the holidays and I'm Irish goodbying. I see my family, you know, multiple times a week, and to be honest, it's probably one of my worst qualities. But I'm always like on to the next. You know, I'm just and that sounds bad, but also I don't know a good.
What
way
are
to
you
explain
afraid
it.
of in that scenario though? Like, you think if you told everyone, hey guys, I got to call it, I got to get home, or I'm wrapping it up, like they would fight it?
I feel like as the night's coming to a cap, like I'll be like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. Like I don't like.
Right. But you could say that, and then it's not an Irish goodbye.
I never Irish goodbye. I never Irish goodbye.
No.
Because an Irish goodbye would be you say nothing and you disappear.
No. He always says something, but I think my point is it'll be like in the middle of something.
I never leave like in the middle of a dinner, Gab. When's the last time I left in the middle of a dinner? That's cap. That's cap. I'm calling that.
First of all, I don't know what that's cap means. I'm not sure what
That's
that
a
means.
lie.
Second of all,
you are old.
I don't know what that's.
With all due respect.
That's cap? Is that something that's a thing?
You cap.
Yeah,
it.
you're perking?
You're full of cap.
Couldn't tell.
Quit being green, Gab.
No idea. Green? Is that a lie?
Come on, give me another one. We can keep it
You're
going.
a cunt.
God damn it, dude.
Is that a new one?
That's not what I meant.
That was good.
I think going back, and then we're gonna wrap this shit. Is that people?
Gabby's wrapping it
is
up.
that people love you, and people want you around,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're like, even before you leave, you're like in the background, like looking like a creep, like just staring at people, not involved in any conversation.
I'm starting to get why Nick wants to leave.
And then you're just like,
People in this episode
Gotta
might
go.
actually take my side and feel like I'm bullied, like abused.
take
maybe?
his side, take it.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
comment below if you think I'm abused.
Oh my God, you are the least abused
So,
person I've
Gabby,
met.
you are a really amazing person.
Oh, fuck.
What would you like to leave the people with as just one quote to live life?
You know what's interesting? I'm going to be very vulnerable. And last night I couldn't sleep, and I was thinking, my brother had texted me earlier in the week and said, I'm just going to talk to you about mental health in the youth and children's mental health nowadays. And there is one thing that I wanted to say. Being in the school, I hear a lot of labeling, and not labeling in the way that people in society may think that I'm talking about. I mean labeling in the terms of like anxiety and depression and things like that. And if there's one thing that I could leave, my opinion being, is that kids can be nervous for a test, and kids can be nervous to make new friends, and nerves and sadness and uncomfortability are feelings that kids can have. And I think if we can take those big words, those diagnosis type words, those words that kids hang on to that don't even really know the meaning of what they are, I think that would be really effective.
Absolutely.
For our kids and for our youth, because there's many a times that I'll go to a class and pull a kid and say, Freddie, how are you feeling? And I'm anxious. What does anxious mean? I don't know. Okay, so do you have a test? You know, then it'll come up. I have a test tomorrow. Okay, are you nervous for the test? Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're nervous for a test. You're
Right.
not.
That's normal.
Yeah, you're not anxious. Were you sad yesterday because your friend was mean to you? So you were sad. But I feel like
Damn,
nowadays.
Gab, that's so fire. I really like that.
I just feel like nowadays.
I feel like a lot of times with adults, it's the same thing too.
Right,
Oh my God, I'm
adults-
so
Yeah.
depressed.
Everyone's got anxiety.
And
now,
there's
you
so
know?
many
Feelings
seasons
are a
of
thing.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many seasons, and like, there's times that I have been really sad for months, and could it be a season of depression? Sure. But when you tell a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8-year-old that they're depressed or they're anxious, or you label a feeling that they're having,
Yeah.
that's not fair to them, because then they go to adults and they
It
say that
sticks
they're
with 'em.
anxious or they have a generalized anxiety disorder at the age of 9. Like, that is not something that needs to stick with them their whole lives. Kids can be nervous. Kids can be sad. Kids can be mad. Kids can say no to you, and that is not a defiance disorder. Like, kids can express themselves and not have to be diagnosed with something. But I feel like in this day and age, a lot of adults and a lot of people are telling their children what they're feeling with these big words that these kids don't understand. And then these kids are going to adults like psychiatrists who can diagnose people and give out medication to these kids that are so young that don't even know what that word means. But because mommy told me I'm anxious, now I'm anxious. So I just...
Be careful with your words and your labels.
Yeah, just be careful with what you say, because kids are sponges. They soak up everything.
Yeah.
So even if you're saying, honey, daddy was depressed for a year, they soak in. If daddy was sad, now they think that if they're sad, they are depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're depressed, but they don't need to have these big words, because those mean something in the real world.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you asked me.
That
That's
was
one
so
thing.
good.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
Because that's the thing I find in schools the most, is that these kids are coming to me and they're saying, I'm anxious. And I'm saying,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Every time they tell me that they feel a certain way, I'm saying, tell me what that means. What does that mean to you?
And
Or,
there's-
like, sorry, one more
No,
thing.
go ahead.
They'll even say things like, I want to, like, an extreme, but it happens. It's happened multiple times this year even. I want to commit suicide. What does that mean to you? What does commit suicide mean? Because nowadays with YouTube and TikTok, and a kid of mine today was saying that he plays a game that I know for a fact has curse words and kills people. And, they watch all these things and they talk about suicide and falling out of windows. But in my game, whenever you fall out of a window, it hits a car and the car saves you. And, so it's just important to talk to your kids. If you say something, what does that mean to you? And then let's talk about what that really means.
Yeah.
And then, I say to kids, if you were to kill yourself, what would that do? Let's talk about what that actually means, because there's vocabulary words that parents are just, or people, or other kids are just spewing at kids.
Yeah.
They mean something. There's a lot of weight to those words.
Yeah.
And these kids are hooking onto them, and that's why people are like, these kids are growing up so fast. Well, mommy and daddy are telling me I have anxiety.
Yeah.
No, honey, you have a math test tomorrow.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit's scary.
Yeah.
Like, remember your times table test where you had a minute to answer your 7s times tables?
Hell yeah.
And whatever you got, like, that was your score, and then the next week it's your 8s?
Yeah.
That shit is
I
scary.
hated
Yeah.
that.
But you come to school and you say I have anxiety, now you're in an anxiety group.
Right.
And then you tell mommy that you still have anxiety, and now you're seeing a psychiatrist once a month. Now you're on medication.
On medication, right.
And that diagnosis stays with you.
Right.
And I wonder if these pharmaceuticals push these labels, like everyone, like I might just be different, right? I might just have a different mind, but I tell people I'm ADD because that's what was pushed. Like everyone who's crazy, talks fast and is hyper, it's ADD. But maybe it was an Adderall pharmaceutical that was like, if we push this, then people want to chill out their minds. Will they take this drug?
I think there's definitely some truth to that.
There's a correlation there, and I don't know.
Or it's interesting. Sorry to cut you off
No,
again,
go.
but it's just something that I'm passionate about, is that there's like these kids that are 7, 8, 9, 10 years old that are just freaking hyper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But school is so fixated on his schedule right now that if Nick is super hyper and he's fidgety and he's whatever he is, it's looked at as he's so ADHD.
Right.
No, the kid needs to move.
Yeah.
The kid needs to have like instruction that is up and running. And it's not the teacher's fault. It's that the district and the curriculum is so rigid nowadays that it's not flexible enough for the kids that need movement. And the kids that need movement is every child. Every child needs movement. But if Nick looks like he needs movement where the other kids are really good at sitting still for a half hour, it's like Nick is the one that looks like he's ADHD. And maybe he is, but maybe he's not. So why are we going to take him to a doctor or get him on all these meds if maybe he just needs some movement? But education nowadays is so rigid, which goes back to my original thing of like my heart is so in like, let's make these kids know how to make relationships. Let's see how they can bond with others. Let's see how they can build friendships with others. Like, why are we shoving this shit down their throats? Like, ask every high schooler, what did you wish you learned in high school? How to write a check. How to not go in debt. How to,
Best class I ever took, K through 12, was a keyboarding class. Teach how to keyboard.
Sure, like shit that you'll actually use. Like, and again, I know academics is important, but it's just like going back to the fact that like school nowadays is so black
but
and
academia
white.
means so much different things to so many different people, and learning and experiencing is such a subjective term, and it's like it just means so much different to so many different people. To parallel the original part of your story, though, I think identity and definitely labels. But I heard this story one time, and I'm gonna butcher it. But this kid took an SAT because his mom made him his senior year of high school. He was a 2.0 student, just getting by taking regular classes, and he took the SAT and he got nearly a perfect score. So he comes home and his mom gives him the envelope. He opens up the envelope. It's a near perfect score. The kid goes from getting a 2.0 in high school to finished almost valedictorian in his class because he saw this letter. He's like, wow, I'm superhumanly smart. I never try. I just, I got this on this test. Ends up going to college, right? Becomes a lawyer, lives his life. 15 years later, they get a letter in the mail from the SAT organization that says that year 12 students got sent the wrong score and he was one of the 12. He actually got like an 1100 and it said he got this crazy almost perfect score. Is this a true story? Yes. But it was the fact that someone had given him this confidence and this identity that you are incredibly smart, that it clicked in his head that I am incredibly smart. I have that identity. I can do what I want. And that there's no guidelines that no one could put on me because I am smart. In reality, he wasn't. But since he told himself that everything...
Well, he wasn't like book smart.
He wasn't applying himself either.
Correct.
Yeah.
But the power of that identity and what you're being told and what you're telling yourself about you is huge.
But also, what is the definition of smart? Because there is a boy at my school that will be the next, like, Bill Nye. Will be the next, like, Bill Gates. Like, he is so smart. If he went to, like, a Montessori school, he would be, like, over the moon. But he is stuck in this structured atmosphere of math, reading, 2-minute brain break. Now I'm going to go to this. Like, it's like he doesn't get to express himself. Think about all these, like, weird-ass, like, inventors, weird-ass people that have created these amazing things. I guarantee you, and I know for a fact that a majority of them were not straight-A students. They were the bad kids. They were the troubled. Oh, the teachers had so much trouble with them. All of my kids that I'm thinking in my head right now, like, they will be amazing entrepreneurs, amazing, like, astronomers or inventors or whatever you want to call them. Like, they just need freedom to learn. But in our education system, it's so strict and so on schedule and so on. You don't let these kids be themselves. And so it's just...
And I think at those young ages, too, it's like, it would be more valuable to, instead of it being so structured around, like, standardized testing and teaching kids to pass the next test, I wish there was more, like, discovery things where they got to figure out the things that they like, you know? And there will be things that, like art classes and creative things that don't fit for all the kids, but there will be half of the kids that it does sync for and, kind of connects the dots for them. And it gets them thinking in the right direction about like the things that they're actually passionate about and the things that they care about, and maybe more like apprenticeship focused learning, you know.
Without further ado, Gab, I think you, as I said at the beginning of the episode, all jokes aside, you are an amazing person. You're going to give so much to this world as you already have. If you guys have any questions about anything to do with kids, if you're a parent, about to become a parent, you have a younger sibling, or anything to do with relationships, really, reach out to Gab. She's just a really good person to give you insight and her opinion. Like I said, she gives great advice. Your handle is Gabby Agnelli on Instagram.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Gabby Adamowicz.
No, it's not.
No, okay.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. That was sick. And guys, I know this episode.
I am a psychiatrist.
Yeah. I know this episode's been all over the place, but that is our relationship. So I think that's very fitting.
Thank you for allowing me on here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gabby.
I know it probably wasn't easy for
It
you.
was. Honestly, this has probably been the hardest episode because it's tricky, like to ask. It's almost like rhetorical questions because you know the answers to them, you know the whole thing. But
You guys are doing an awesome job.
Thank you so much.
Keep it up. You guys are killing it.
thank you guys for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Continue to look out for our announcements and the things we got coming up.
December 4th, baby.
Yes, be there.
December 4th.
Please subscribe. Tell your friends. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Cause you know I need that German with that brand new fucking tip. Fell in love with them foreigns, watching a nigga Euro step. Got me feeling like I'm hardened cause I'm plugged in with the rep. That like if you touch me wrong, you might get hit with this tech. Let them birds fly like a nigga crossing west. And I swear they broke my heart when I seen them. But that shit, it made me strong. Now I'm right back on my best. Like bitches, leave me alone. Why I get linked on this tech? Like little bitches, leave me alone. Unless you gonna try that neck. Like little bitches, leave me alone. Unless you talking about a check.